Okay, okay, I have like a nice amount of slides to go through. I think a little bit more than I'm supposed to, so I'm going to try to go fast. My product is Vintage Pioneer. It's bourbon in Bourbon, Kentucky. Established this year. Right. Um, the two things that I was really trying to hit is authenticity and a quality product at a quality price, a not premium price that is accessible to everybody. Right. My mission statement is exactly that: crafting exceptional whiskey with authenticity and superior quality in every drop. And then my vision statement is to expand into different types of whiskeys, grains, not categorized as bourbons, but still American whiskey, um, from an already established, reliable company from the bourbon. All right, the target market, we go age, gender, race, location. Right, the primary age 25 to 54, gender is male, race white, and the top 6 states. As we go along, you'll see how I try to target even people out of these demographics. Right, two biggest competitors, Woodford and then Buffalo Trace. Two very established bourbons. Both offer high quality products. Woodford, more their standard is high quality. Buffalo Trace is maybe a little bit less, but their premium products go for astronomical prices on the secondary market. All right, the SWOT. Right, my mission statement again. Right, going through my strength for the SWOT. Right, again, authenticity and craftsmanship, something that I really is my focus. Affordability as well, and then the diverse grain selection, which I mentioned from my vision statement. And this is where I implemented it for the first time. Weaknesses, right? New product, limited brand recognition, competitive and saturated market, like my competitors, Woodford Reserve, um, Buffalo Trace, and there are many others. Jim Beam, Elijah Craig, Black Widow, um, a lot of others. Those are just a few off the top of my head. I mean Widow J, not Black Widow. Anyway, and lower prices mean lower returns, right? I'm trying to make a high quality product, but at an affordable price. That's gonna, be hard to expand and grow with lower margins than other companies. Opportunities, right? Demand for accessible luxury. People want the luxury bourbons. They're getting more into them, um, and I'm trying to make them at a more affordable price. Growing demand for alternative whiskeys, such as different grain-based whiskeys like rye. Even regular bourbon drinkers are getting more into those, and people who are not into bourbon, like other demographics that bourbon does not hit, might want to try this instead. Um, so this will be an avenue to those demographics that are not heavily saturated. And then direct to consumer sales and subscription services, right? Being more interactive, having building loyalty with the customer base. Threats, right? Again, established competitors, a lot of those. Pricing wars and market saturation, right? It's with there's a lot of pressure around that. And then supply chain and ingredient costs, right? Prices go up, and I don't want to raise prices, but if the price of production goes up, it'll go up with it. Accordingly. And these are my references for the SWOT. Okay, this was my first specialty ad. It's a story ad. I think it's important for a company like mine to have a story ad showing the authenticity, showing the craftsmanship and how it's made, and building a authentic, transparent relationship with the consumer. And then the point is to highlight the quote unquote luxury for everybody, right? A quality product at a quality price. And then the second one, my specialty ad, is the interactive ad, the Bourbon Experience Box, right? Something tangible that they can purchase. Maybe a subscription type service that, like I mentioned before. Then also getting influencers involved, having customers' reactions, and interacting with them through social media with QR codes, and things like that. And right, unlike traditional whiskey brands like Buffalo Trace that focused on high-end buyers mostly, Vintage Pioneer is making an interactive whiskey experience accessible to even casual drinkers, and new drinkers as well. Specialty ad number 3, the Bourbon Price Barrier, right? Price comparison. Right, a direct price comparison between Vintage Pioneer and competitors like Woodford and Buffalo Trace and Blanton's, showing how Vintage Pioneer delivers a premium quality at a more accessible price. Right, social media videos like with blind test tasting, um, and then highlight the similarities in the crafting and the aging process, showing how quality is not compromised by a cheaper price point. Right, so comparing Vintage Pioneer and new product along well-respected, established products. And these are the references for the specialty ads. Okay, this is the new product that I introduced, right, that I kept on saying. Alternative grains, Vintage Pioneer Rye. So, um, so implement in a few ways. One is influencer partnerships, to have someone who's trusted by a following to introduce the product. Brand packaging should be similar to regular Vintage Pioneer, so people know that it's a trustworthy product, from a trustworthy company. Remarketing campaigns, right? Showing our loyal customer base already from our bourbon that we have a new product. You should try, you'll like it. And then the email social media campaign, right? This will include education, food pairings, and cocktail menus surrounded around the new product, the rye whiskey. These campaigns will focus on attracting new customers and existing customers as well. All right, the legal strategy, trademark protection. This is necessary to just protect the company and prevents consumer confusion, so no one else, separating, having complete brand recognition, making sure no one tries to rip it off. And then the LLC formation, right? That's just more to protect me, make sure that no one could come after my personal belongings, and everything is at the LLC. Crisis response strategy, right? This was from the Domino's case study that we had. Right, first you have to as fast as you can, have a public response letting everyone know that you're acknowledging the issue. Then I would have a video where someone high up in the company has first is taking responsibility and then has a plan to implement to correct the actions, and then also engage with customers across various platforms, so and social media, to show that we weren't just saying it and that we really are concerned about their concerns and want to address all of them. Okay, and then the next crisis response strategy, employee accountability and preventative training, right? Like Domino's employees, fire them immediately, then implement a new training for all employees so this doesn't happen again. And then also letting the public know what that plan of action is. All right, and the PR strategy, the storytelling campaign, right? First, earn media coverage, preferably a magazine piece. Industry expert collaborations, right? Some are like experts and influencers giving authentic feedback on our products. And then community sponsor local community events and festivals, just building a loyalty. Even just community by community, I think is worth the investment. And then the last three, right? Customer lifetime value. This is just the calculations that I put in, and my estimate is that each loyal customer is worth $1,350 over the lifetime span, which is 5 years. Then the cost per an acquisition. Again, this is the just the formula, right? These are the numbers that I chose. 2,500 for monthly ad spend, influencer budget, then digital marketing. So all the marketings divided by the amount of new customers on average we get per month. That comes out to $40 per an acquisition. So $40 per an acquisition with an average CLV of $1,350 is pretty solid. And then the foot in the door technique, right? The initial small ask: offer free whiskey tasting, local liquor stores, festivals, and then take down each customer's basic information if they're willing to give it, to be able to follow up with them through email. And then after the tasting, hopefully in person, invite the customer to purchase a trial size bottle or even a full size if they like it that much right away at a discounted price. And also sign them up for a monthly whiskey club, enhancing a relationship with them, with an introductory gift to that subscription. And then, why I wanted to get the email was for number 2, to follow up. And it works. People say yes to a small offer. They're likely to say yes to a larger ask, to a product they trust and like. All right, and here are my references. Yeah, so just